Hey guys, and welcome back to Codecakes. So in this video we're going to brush you through the fundamentals of programming. Now there are a few of these we've already discussed, but we're gonna brush through them nevertheless. So there are some things like variables, constant, data types, and arrays, which you already know. There are some things like high level, low level languages, assemblers, compilers, interpreters, which you might not know. So we're going to quickly introduce you to these concepts because they are part of many computer science curriculums across many boards. So yeah. So variables are named values or symbols in which data can be stored in the life of a program. These values can be changed as per requirement of the flow of the program. Now constants are like variables named values to store data. However, the values for these constants cannot be changed and remain the same in the entire program once assigned. Next, data types are the different types in which data should be interpreted by the computer. So these include integers, floats, doubles, strings, characters, and booleans. These data types are just groups in which data can be sorted. So yeah. Arrays are lists of data of a single type. Now this is a very important concept. Arrays cannot consist data of different types. So an array with a string and an integer and a float and a double is not possible. An array with integers can hold only integers. An array with strings can hold only strings. That is the rule of many programming languages, and you might keep that in mind for future reference. Next, data can be stored and fetched and sorted like it can be in any form of list. Now this removes the hassle of many variables, as this list can be stored in a single variable. Consider this, you need to take in 100 people's identity. Now creating 100 variables will be a very difficult task for any programmer, and it will be very hassleful. If you want to change something, you'll have to change it 100 times. So to avoid that, arrays are very handy tools for many programmers and are used in most modern programs. Next we have high-level and low-level programming languages. High-level languages are programming languages that are easy to understand by people. It's closer to the English language. These programs are easier to read and write, and these languages can run on many different processors. These programs also have a greater size. Lower-level languages are hard to read and write programming languages and are processor-specific. They can perform core system tasks and are therefore not portable. Programs have a small size, generally. Next we have three types of program translators that convert the programming language code into executable machine code. Assemblers, compilers, and interpreters. An assembler takes in the program in the form of a low-level language called the assembly language and converts into binary executable machine code for that specific processor. An example for this is the NASM assembler. Compilers convert code of programs into machine code as a whole and save the file as an executable, so the program can be run without the compiler on other target computers. This is slow and takes much space. An example for this is a C compiler. Interpreters execute the code line by line dynamically without converting it to an executable file. This is faster and takes less space, but running the program requires the interpreter to be installed on the target computer. An example. Phew. So next we have use of predefined procedures, functions, or methods. So consider this, you need to execute a set of lines of code again and again, multiple times in the code. So you can use a method which will help you reduce the file size of the program and can reduce your efforts by reuse of code again and again. This is the right one to execute multiple times methodology. You can write a piece of code once and define it as a function. Every time you call the function, those lines of code will be executed. So next we're going to take up the concepts of sequence, selection, repetition, totaling, and counting. So a sequence is all commands should be executed in a particular sequence to get the expected output. The concept of sequence is very important in most modern programming languages. Next, we have selection. Selection is the process of controlling the flow of program according to some conditions. This, you guessed it right, is the if condition, and we use it to control the flow of program many times. Repetition is the process involving repeating a set of instructions by a condition or a number of times. Totaling is the process of totaling an array of numbers, and counting is the process of involving increment of a loop counter and looping accordingly. So these are just basic fundamentals that you will need to remember for your programming life. I thought it was necessary for you to be introduced to these, and keep in mind that these things will help you in your computer science syllabuses if you're still learning in school or in colleges. And so yeah, these are just basic things that I thought will help you. Thanks.